This is the most unprofessional podcast in the world
right now.
Well, listen, it's the most unprofessional. I've been recording on this. Chit.
Let's do it. Mi gente.
Wait for it, guys. The Real Outdoorsman is on the Chit Show in actually his studio, by the way. And those are a bunch of guns, but we're going to talk about those, but we can't touch those guns because if we do, you know what's going to happen on YouTube?
Pagada.
They're going to say, fuera, caballero. There's no monetization on this video.
But there's a word I can say is cock. I can say cock because I want to introduce you guys to my cock here. Don Julio got into a fight with another cock. And for whatever reason, he lost, but he survived. And I've been struggling, pasando trabajo, dándole su medicamento, some triple antibiótico.
Cockfight.
Yeah.
El tipo looks like he's on a bad one, bro.
He is, but he's doing well. He's recovering. Believe it or not, he's got fever.
He was worse. He was worse.
Yeah, he was worse than this.
Okay,
but
over here he looks kind of medio muerto.
Despiértate, socio.
Hey, he's alive, guys. He's alive. I promise you, he's alive. I just saw him getting recovered in the bathroom when I went to take a leak. El tipo was looking at me.
Lo tenía ahí tomando agua.
I saw it. All right, guys. So if you guys know, I just came out of the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show, which I met you.
Which was un arroz con mango.
For the first time, guys. What a Chit Show. Oh, my goodness.
It really was.
I took my shed. I just came back from bringing back my shed. Bro, what a scene, bro.
And I told you, you're nuts for doing that, bro.
Well, listen. I wanted to give people the experience. Like, this is your space, right? Like this is where you chill, you do your stuff. It's kind of like your man cave. You put your stuff, your guns.
Now that you put it in that perspective, I see it. I see it now.
Okay. In this case, you're organizing. You got everything going on. Imagine you get this and you just get it all out of here.
And let the people see.
And then they get to experience what they're going to see. Because this is a podcast that you're going to do on your channel, right? And guys, he's going to start a YouTube channel, The Real Outdoorsman. What do they call you in Spanish?
El Guajiro Babu.
El Guajiro Babu, which means...
The bearded... it gets itchy after a while.
Guajiro would be considered redneck?
Cowboy, Guajiro, somebody from the El Campo.
El Campo means a redneck.
The farm, country life.
Yeah, country life, right? So picture somebody in the middle of the mountains of Tennessee with, cutting firewood. This is the closest version that he can get to in Miami, right? Yeah. This is as urban as he gets. He actually wears a cowboy hat everywhere. I'm surprised he's not wearing it now.
I do.
He's holding the cock. He's holding his cock, guys.
So the way I got around to it is after I retired from the police department.
Okay.
I would go to certain ranches, and then a good friend of mine, Marcos Cutaro.
Okay.
We would go hunting at one of his friends.
Okay.
And then what we do is we help out with the cattle ranching part. So we'll help whenever we got to bring in the calves.
Locally.
It's Central Florida area.
Okay, so that's okay. I was gonna say I haven't seen a cow other than Miami Lakes.
No, not around here. It's Central Florida. But remember, I'm retired, so I could do it as often as my boy wanted to go hunt or go up there and help out around the farm.
So
and then I would just.
So you were a police officer.
I was. I'm retired with City of Miami Police Department.
City of Miami. Okay, cool. I was actually, just talking to somebody recently on a podcast, and he was telling me about a story about how he owned Gold Rush. Well, not Gold Rush, where Gold Rush is now, and it was called Black Gold. And that was City of Miami, and he had this big billboard. His name is Lenny Moore. It's a great podcast. You guys should check it out. It's very interesting.
Lenny, you're my new best friend.
Listen, Lenny ended up creating an energy drink called Some Poussey.
Oh my God.
Okay, but the city of Miami came up because I asked him, I go, who patrols that area? And a lot of people that are not from Miami, we have Miami-Dade Police, which is Dade County, right? And then you have...
They're the sheriffs for all of Miami-Dade.
Yes, and then you guys are Miami, which will control like Little Havana, all those areas.
Correct. There are multiple little
precincts,
sectors, we would call them. You got Alapata, Liberty City.
I said precincts,
Model
bro. We just
City.
had an election yesterday.
Yeah. But the county is still allowed to make arrests and do their job inside of City of Miami. They can go anywhere in Miami-Dade.
But can Miami do like an arrest?
It would have to be a felony, and the department itself frowns upon that. Okay,
so basically, you cross in, you're following me. I go into Coral Gables. I turn around and say, "Get off my lawn, guy. Get off my. You're out of your precinct."
Listen,
precinct again, coño.
Your section. No, they frown upon it, but he can do it. Okay. That's the difference. Legally, yes, he's a sworn law enforcement officer for the whole state. But the department, in their eyes, liability-wise, they only want you to put yourself in a certain position. But when it's in their zone, imagine it like a business. That's what the departments really are.
It is a business.
It's a business.
It's a business. It's a good business, by the way. All right. So listen, I wouldn't have known that, right? I wouldn't have known that because you know what? He is an Instagram sensation on Instagram, and he has a big following down here in South Florida. And he's always wearing his cowboy hat, and he's always doing, crazy things. Like you're out there. You do a bunch of stuff, right?
Yeah, my past will speak for itself when people get to know me of why I am crazy. But what I was...
But we're going to talk about that. That's why we're here.
I'm the type of guy that people on Instagram and social media, they'll reach out to me. I have no idea who they are.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at their background in Instagram to see what type of boat they have or whatnot.
Yeah.
And they'll hit me up with a message. Hey, you want to go fishing tomorrow? I just respond with where and what time.
All right, guys.
That's it. And I show up.
Do it tomorrow. Go out of
tomorrow. I'm going hog hunting tomorrow.
Black Point Marina. Make sure you launch out of Black Point Marina. I want to have a peacekeeper here on Pablo. Have you ever launched out of Black Point?
Of course.
Oh,
all the time. And then I look for you just in case. Don't go otra mommy, so my wife don't catch me. Nah.
You know the wife is not here, guys. She's still in cheerleading practice.
I met my wife the day that I got back from the war in Iraq. She was there because her sister was married to one of my fellow Marines.
Okay.
And then my fiance at the time, she cheated on me. She left me while I was at the war. And then I met her. She was the first woman I got to meet.
Later,
right when I got out of the bus to go say hi to my family, she is the first one. I've been with my wife 19 years now.
Congratulations on that. That's awesome. And you have 2 little girls.
I have 2 daughters. Maya's the oldest. She's 11. I have Leah. She's 8. And they love the fishing. They love the hunting. They love everything that I'm about.
So okay. So on Instagram, what is it that you normally do? Fishing, hunting, or what is it that the people know you from? Because I see all this stuff, and you're gonna go hunting tomorrow. You're gonna try to maybe film some of that.
Yeah.
He's just starting to understand the YouTube side of this, right? Because there's a big learning curve when it comes to learning all this stuff. It's not like, hey, let's turn on the camera, we get going.
No, bro.
It was a Chit Show. We're here.
It took us an hour and 15 minutes just to set up all this shenanigans.
Yeah, it took us an hour. And we're probably not even recording right now. This is
I see red. It was green. I think it's recording.
All right, guys.
And then, yes, I see minutes and seconds counting. So, goddamn it, we're counting.
Okay, all right. Okay, so first of all, thank you for your service, right? So you were an active military veteran, and we got Veterans Day coming up.
Yes, sir.
Right?
It's always around the Marine Corps birthday. So, I can never forget November 10th, Marine Corps birthday, baby.
Okay, so you're a Marine.
Yes, sir.
And you served in Iraq.
I did. So obviously, like everybody else, after 9/11, wherever it is you were.
Yeah.
For me, I was in senior year in my class, homeroom. The first airplane ended up striking the North Tower.
Yeah.
They roll in the freaking TVs. You remember those big monster TVs, the
little
VHS?
Yeah, the big giant squares.
Bro, and they put it up, and then shortly thereafter, the South Tower gets hit.
Yeah.
Like everybody else, you felt violated. Like they attacked our country.
Yeah.
Right after graduating high school, me and my best friends, we all joined the Marine Corps.
All you guys.
We all joined. We all split up. Obviously, everybody got different MOSs, which is jobs in the military. I ended up landing in a tow unit, which is it's an infantry base, but what you do is you shoot tow missiles.
Okay.
Which is one of these tube launch, optically wire connected. In other words, it's the ones you shoot out of the Hummers.
Okay.
And there's a wire. Once you shoot it, there's a wire that stays attached.
Okay.
And you got to stay tracking the tank, the Jeep, whatever it is you're shooting at. Fun times.
So you thought that was a lot of fun doing all that? You're in your 20s at this time.
Yeah.
How old were you?
I was like 18, 19.
18, 19 years old.
Yeah, and fresh out the high school.
When you first got sent to overseas, how old were you?
So what I was going to get to is 2004 in the summer, they bring us in for orders.
Okay.
And they're like, hey, Tow platoon, you guys are going to Djibouti, Africa. Scout platoon, you guys are going to Iraq. You know, and they go on the list of who's going where. I ended up having to go to Djibouti, but instead, I go to the first sergeant. Hey, look, I didn't join the Marine Corps to be, I don't know, playing whatever game somewhere else, especially Africa. What's going on in Africa?
Yeah, you had a purpose. You wanted to.
So believe it or not, I went to him. I asked him if there's anybody that's scared, doesn't want to be put up to the task, swap me out with him. Sure enough, 2 weeks later, of course, somebody there has to be like, oh, reality check, and they don't want to go.
Yeah.
Boom. I went into scout platoons, which is a little bit more specialized, a little more infantry oriented. We landed in Iraq on my birthday, March 14th in 2005.
Happy birthday.
There you go, bro. Turned 21. It was like 2-something in the morning. We got out of the C-130s. You meet immediately somebody with ammo cans. He's like, "Oye, take 60 bullets."
But he didn't say oye.
No. Yeah, there was definitely no oyas there.
It's
was
here.
Load up your mags, take 60 rounds, keep moving.
Yeah.
So that's it. You're in theater. We got attached to a Regimental Combat Team 8, which we were doing so much training with them. We did all this, like a good 4 months training
Okay.
with them. But then we get there, and it's like, no, we're using Scout Platoon for something else. You guys are going to be in charge of a forward operating base inside of Fallujah.
Okay, for those that don't know, guys, Fallujah is actually one of the worst parts of the war. That when the U.S. government decided to go in there, there was a lot of, it was a very dense area that you guys had to go.
Operation Phantom Fury had just ended that December of 2004. So it's whatever tactical advantage points we were trying to establish so that we have facilities keeping control of the city, which it was a hot spot, man.
Which was, it's an active war zone, right?
Yeah, and we were the sitting ducks. They can come out in the middle of the night, attack us, they'll be home, poof. By the time we were reacting to what's going on, they just kept running to their house and they're gone.
Yeah. So obviously the Marine Corps and those circumstances shaped the way and who you are today.
You definitely go through some stuff. I was a little kid. I was very immature. Oh, man, I had stories I could tell you.
Well, listen, that's why we're here. If you want to tell them,
it's in my blood to be this wild, reckless. Like I want to live life.
Yeah.
Like obviously, if you're only hearing some parts of my stories, you're gonna be like, this guy's a coward. But I'm gonna tell you one story. This is how common the shootouts and the IEDs and the shenanigans to go off. One time, I get woken up to machine gun fire going off, and somebody runs into the room. Hey, so-and-so post such and such needs reinforcements. And the machine gun fire is still going off. You hear bullets incoming and outgoing. And they take off our electricity. I don't know what happened. Our electricity, poof. So everything is black. My buddy and I have a short conversation as we're miserably half asleep putting our clothes back on. He goes to me, if you go back to sleep, I'll go back to sleep. We said, fuck it. We went right back to sleep, let the shootout fucking go on. And then somebody from another room came all blanketed out and says, can I sleep here? And we just hid. We just stay there. It wasn't a hiding. It's so exhausting that you're like...
Because you had just been out all day fighting.
Yes. It works. You had 8 hours where you would do your post.
Okay.
Where you sit in a post, a tactical position in the like 3-4 blocks that we took over. Yeah. And you protecting the compound. After those 8 hours, you had 8 hours of patrolling out in the city.
Didn't General Petraeus at that time make like a lot of the troops actually stay within the city in Iraq at some point? Wasn't that something that...
No, I don't remember dealing with any of that. And remember, once you're over there, you don't deal with any of that political shit. You do what you're told.
No, I know, but I from what I recall, and maybe the comment section would let us know. I think one of the things that was the problem, because you remember you're trying to get information from the people that are in the actual community.
Yes,
and if they're scared to tell you stuff because they think that you're going to be there, and then you go back to your base.
Yes,
then
I'll get to that.
Okay, and then from what I remember, they said, hey, let's go and stay here, and then the people are going to say, hey, they got our back if these people are trying to.
So we
do all this
had
crazy
inside of that center command.
Okay.
We had a place, I forgot, CMOC we called it. I don't know what it is.
Okay.
But it's like, let's say by accident,
Okay.
we blew up your child's arm or defigured your face.
Okay.
The government would compensate you with a check. So what happens is now you had a section where you have civilians coming in and out.
Okay.
And they would bring from the main Camp Fallujah, they would bring female Marines.
Okay.
So every day in the morning they would bring them, and every day in the afternoon they would take them because we had no running water.
Yeah.
So we had nowhere to pee and poop but the water bottle when you drank out of.
Yeah.
You didn't shower once every 2 weeks is when the rotation was for you to go back to the main base where you could shower, do laundry, whatever. But anyways, those conditions were definitely not for women. So they came every morning, left every. And with them, we would alternate our people to go back to Camp Fallujah.
Yeah.
So we maximized why that trip is going.
Yeah.
One day, a vehicle ended up. My best friend Ski was in the video. Was in the truck in the back, along with Padmore and some of my other friends. They said they saw the vehicle roll right past them. Ended up crashing into the 7-ton, which was in front of them, blowing up, killing everybody in that vehicle. So those females that they dedicated their life and their time to come and establish what that general was talking about.
Yeah.
How building up that relationship
Yeah. That's huge.
wiped out all the female Marines that we had helping us.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So my friend, shortly after when we got back from Iraq, the signs weren't there. I mean, the signs were there, but you're so busy fighting your own demons at the time. When I got back, came out.
I would argue he still came out. I would still say no. Oh, okay. So you've always been like a character, right? Like locally, there's places that actually I sell some of my merchandise at Capitan. You actually go there. You know those guys over there. They're like,
They know me for a while.
You gotta meet Pablo. They call you Pablito. You know, Pablito is usually Ito. Whenever they put Ito behind anything, it's because there's like affection, right? So he's always playing around with them, and then they're like, oh, you gotta meet him, and then. You know, we hadn't been able to meet each other until recently to the show. And then I'm like, hey, there's such an opportunity here to show what he can do. And most of all, thank you for your service, because now it makes, right? Because when I talk to you, I'll be straight up. I'll be straight up. When I talk to you, I saw hurt in your eyes, right? Because you see shit, right?
So you think, oh, when you go to the ward, I got stories that the shootouts, I once got into such a, it was the fog of war, the sandstorm, it was the middle of the night, and I just racked back the 240, just let off a bunch of rounds. And then later on, when everything clears, it was within just feet from almost also impacting my boys Nick and Rhodes, which are all the other Marines.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the shit was there. Accidentally, somebody, my archangels, what they call it, whoever's on the post on top watching over you.
Yeah.
Bro, it's some Iraqi police, which we built a good relationship with the Iraqi police.
Yeah.
Iraqi people is not what the media makes you think they are.
So what
they're
are
very
they?
humble.
What are they? So
Very humble people. They're actually cowards more than anything else.
Really?
Cowards more than anything else. And I'm going to tell you how much of a coward those fucking people are. Excuse my language.
Freaking.
The aggressive insurgents, right? But the Iraqi people, but the insurgents, they're doing it for their religion, which we already know that's far beyond. You can't control that.
Yeah.
But once I had somebody came in through the entrance on a bicycle.
Okay.
You know, I was sitting in my post where I'm kind of lounging, just by the time I see him, he's already in. I get up. By the time I get out to kind of like, what's going on? He's got a box, cardboard box in front of him. And then you can see the wires that connect to him. You can talk crap and be like, you should have shot him, you should have whatever. And last Corporal Cook, he stayed behind in the protection of the sandbags. I was just like, I was like, whatever. Hamila, you know what? Shit. What do you do? Anybody would be like, shoot him.
Yeah, you
but at
gotta-
this time, he's got the drop on me. What do? Just stare him in the eyes. Swear to God, guy turns around, takes off. Later on, you find out after analyzing some of these stories, it's what it is. I think it had the suicide switch, where if he fell or once he was shot and he fell off the bicycle, it would go off.
Yeah. So he was scared. He was scared.
I have a feeling he's like, I'm not gonna kill myself.
Yeah.
If you're not killing me, I'm not. And he took off.
Yeah.
But these are all things that they come to you, and I'm telling you, there's.
So you have all your limbs, right?
Yep.
You
Thank God.
and not everybody can say that, right? Like
My best friend Edward Alba, he's a Miami Beach cop. He got hit by a grenade.
Yeah.
In the on the attack of Abu Ghraib.
Yeah.
Thank God he's got all his limbs, bro.
Yeah. And personally, I got when my roommate in high school, we were Marrero, which is my boy, right? Like we were dogs, like, and thankfully he's here too. And one of the things that he had come back, and you're never gonna be the same, right? Because
you can't
you see these
go
things.
see the devil, go face to face with the devil every night and expect to just come back to your hometown and because if you got into a shooting, for example, the Iraqi chief for the police that we were establishing.
Yeah.
I don't know what his brain fart was that day, not knowing the reputation of the Marines or whatever, but it still gets to you. Let me finish the story.
I didn't stop you from saying the story.
No, but I'm prolonging it because of my emotions behind it.
No, good. And guys, for the record, the cock is still asleep.
Yeah, she's out. He's out. Sorry.
He's out.
He decides to come in an unmarked car into our compound.
Okay.
Through the exit portion.
Yeah.
So my archangel ends up putting one round, legit, between his eyes to the driver, which was the chief.
Wow.
Passenger starts jumping out. I'm in the entrance, so I'm like, what the hell's going on? We run over. We see passenger getting shot upon. He got hit in the leg. Shit, I was with Nicholson. By the time everything calms down, we're like, those are our friendlies. Now you had all the Iraqi police officers, they showed up, racking their AKs, because their lifestyle is eye for an eye.
Yeah.
So now imagine us as innocent Marines, we're like...
Yeah, you came in through the back. We didn't know who it was.
Listen, it's scary. And then at the same time, since it's an innocent person who really didn't put himself in that position, yes, with a brain fart, but it's not one you can live with type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Because ultimately, everybody has a family, right?
Yeah.
And they all want to go
And
home.
we're trying to build peace. That would just set us back so much more when we depend on these people for our survival there.
Yeah.
Hey, another funny story I could tell you is Hector Alaman. I'm going to put him on blast.
Oh.
He almost got me killed more than once.
Aguántate, Hector.
Oye, more than once.
Hector, more than once. Put him out.
Miami-Dade cop. Amazing person, bro. I fucking love him. I love him. That's my brother. I'm allowed to talk crap because that's my brother, right?
Yep. More than once
he got
or
us
twice.
lost in Fallujah one time. Dude.
I'm assuming the
Out.
GPSs don't work over there.
No, there was no GPSs, people. It was made a hand map, go this way, go that way. All of a sudden, the rest of our convoy went this way, we went that way.
Did you guys have like translators that would be with you, or how did that work? Like,
so
there's nobody saying, "Oye, que volado, oye, ¿dónde está aquí?" No, nothing. There's
no. We really, but we had one Marine who this guy knows like 8 languages. You would think Marines are gung-ho and crazy and we're dumb. One of the most smartest kids you'll ever meet. Boren Gustafsson. Christopher Boren Gustafsson. He's my age now, probably 40. He's got 2 kids, amazing guy. He taught himself Arabic in like 2 months.
over there.
No, before going to Iraq, we're not going to have a translator like affixed to us. He's like, I got this. And he learned it.
Yeah.
And he learned it.
That's
how to read,
badass.
write, and speak the language.
That's badass.
What's funny is he does look like I don't know the actor's name, but he's very well built. That light blonde hair. He's very a typical Swedish, but boom.
Yeah.
And a lot of the Iraqi people, hopefully some of them don't get mad at me. They all have their feminine ways where they do like men, for the most part. Overseas, we kind of notice that they hold hand in hand and whatever. And I used to spread rumors because he's so different. They like him.
Yeah.
That he would suck for 25 dinars.
All right.
I spread that rumor. Wait, no. That he would suck cock
Hey.
for 25 dinars.
The cock. Okay. What about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. So I woke
Okay.
him up.
How many?
Hey, and that's equivalent to a quarter US dollars. And he would get confronted by the Iraqi people. Like, hey, rumor amongst us is you would. And then eventually it clicked into him. He goes, Arzola! He knew it. Bro, that's all I would do is mess around with people over there.
So, okay, so that's obviously a big aspect of how you see life, right?
Yeah.
You get back. Tell me your first day back, and guys, I promise we're gonna talk about all the Instagram crazy stuff that he does, right? Because I'm seeing a little bit here. So you get back, right?
I don't remember much about the specifics, but I do remember leaving and telling myself, because it ain't like you could spend the money while you're over there. There's no strip clubs in Iraq.
Yeah.
You can't leave the compound. Like, there's no go somewhere to buy yourself food in a restaurant. I'm going to send you pictures so you could post it if people don't believe. Our food had mold in it. You would have to eat around the mold. The water bottles that we drank, they would stay outside in the sun all day with a little tent on top of it.
Yeah.
So your water was never cold. I came to drink cold water once because an army guy stopped at our compound to take a break. And he had cold water, and I was like, yo, let me get that bottle.
Where'd you get that?
I was like, yo, let me get that bottle.
Why is the army getting the cold water, bro?
Listen, bro, there's no hate. They were out there fighting, but they get the budgeting first before us Marines.
All right. Well, listen, you guys are front lines, right? Like, you guys, whenever there's something that goes down, they're gonna go see the Marines, guys. The Marines is like, hey, and then you obviously work with SEALs and
you can take it far back to where our boot camp. Mm-hmm. I've never been to an Army one. I've never been to a Navy one, Coast Guard, some of these other ones. But I'm willing to cockily say that their boot camps don't match up to ours, because ours, yes, the PT is crazy. I've never seen snow before or been in anywhere like Arctic where the grass freezes.
When you say PT, explain that for people. So
physical training.
Okay.
I went to boot camp in January. We would still go in little short shorts and the little t-shirts and go do sit-ups and push-ups and all this PT out when there's snow outside.
Yeah.
I'd freeze my ass off.
Yeah.
Like, it was not cool. I'm from Miami.
Being from Miami, guys. Anything under 60 degrees, you're like freezing.
Yeah, but they teach you the mentality here isn't, to cry about it. Yes, you're suffering, but you have to remember that it's not all about you. They mess with you more in boot camp if you're that type of person. Because there are people that's just their instinct to be all about them. And I was one of those people when I was a kid. So at boot camp, I did extra of everything, right? Because I always had something to say, my little karate, the Cuban, we think we know it all, but...
Were the other Hispanic or Cubans with you?
There was a Puerto Rican guy, and he actually tried to slit his wrist, tried to kill himself during boot camp, and they just, I guess, a dishonorable discharge. So,
yeah. And it's not meant for everybody, guys. And so you get back, you eventually settle down, you meet. Your wife is literally.
But back to what my first days were, the housing market was like a decent house, $230,000. This was, remember, I left in January 2005 to Iraq.
Wait, $230,000. You can't get an efficiency now with that.
Exactly, but when I got back at the end of 2005, that $250,000 house was $550,000, $600,000, which is what we're just experiencing now, the crazy hike.
Yeah.
So when I got back from the war, I was like, I'm not gonna throw my money away on that.
Yeah.
Bro, I bought a massive fish tank that was the whole length of my bed.
Okay.
With 3 sharks, 2 lionfish, some eels, forget it. Plasma TVs had just come out. So I was like, plasma TV. I bought a motorcycle. I bought an old school.
So you had a midlife crisis in your 20s.
Listen, I enjoyed my money, bro. It was like 30 something, 40 grand. I thought I was a millionaire. I enjoyed every penny.
How, when you got back, you had that lifestyle?
Yeah.
How at first, obviously, I don't know, because I can't relate to that. How is the mindset when you're in active
like survival mode, and you're gonna have to listen. You're taught to kill.
Yeah.
Realistic. You're taught to kill.
And
then
it's not that you're taught to kill, right? It's you're taught to react to that threat.
Okay.
Because it's not like go out there and take lives.
Yeah.
You know? That's a different mentality.
But you're gonna have to actually, if there's a threat, you're gonna have to respond to that. And then all of a sudden, you're always your game is like you're always on point, right?
Yeah.
You get back here. How's that? Like everything you hear
No,
something.
I was fucked up. My brother even ended up having to move out of the house.
Because you're crazy.
I got into a fist fight with him, which he kicked my ass that day. But it's my older brother.
Yeah, but
it's still why'd I take it to that level where I got physical. Then another day I pulled out my gun. I actually racked it back, fired it around, and you're not well in the head, bro.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't have a concealed weapon permit, I still carried that shit up and down the streets with me. I never known. I've had knives pulled out on me. We're talking overseas as we would drive.
I think your ring just went off. Or my ring. Somebody's ring.
Yeah.
It's here. Somebody's here, guys.
As we would ride in the 7-ton from Camp Fallujah to our COC, we would see the motors drop close nearby. So, I mean, you're coming from every day doing that to a regular life society with civilians. It's not that easy, bro.
How long did it take you to acclimate? Would you say
my wife is the one that acclimated me, bro.
Yeah.
My best friend took his life. Ski, which is the one that I told you was behind the 7-ton that killed all the females. He took his life. He left his girlfriend pregnant. He hung himself.
Yeah.
And then that's
which is a very hard thing for you guys to experience, and it's something that I'll tell you. And I got friends that are struggling with like PTSD, and tomorrow there's always a better day, right? Like it's hard to fathom that, especially when you've seen a lot of things, and there's a constant reminder there, just reminding you. But you're still here because there's a purpose for you later, and you gotta wait.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta wait. Like
by him doing that and beating us to the punch for whoever, because I'm sure I wasn't the only one going down that dark path.
Yeah.
It was a reality check of don't be selfish.
Yeah.
Look at all the pain you caused your family. Look at all the pain you caused your friends, which to us that's family as well. But then you're like, I would never want to do this to the people I love.
One of my cousins, younger cousins, same thing. He was out overseas, and long story short, he came back and he couldn't deal with it. And you know, young guy, you know, and that whole process, and hopefully, those that are going into something like that are headstrong, knowing that you're gonna change in some way. But at some point, it's going to get better because, like your life right now, you're pretty much settled in, right?
I'm not. I'm trying hard. I'm putting in my dues humbly.
Yeah.
You know, I think I could be more aggressive, but I'm not charging certain sponsors and people more than what I should. I'm actually going to the less side because I want to feel like I've earned every little piece of success to where they actually got the better deal.
Good, which you want to give them value, right?
Correct. I want to make sure they never doubt me. I'm putting dues. Unfortunately, that hurts and puts a strain on my family financially. We do have our bills that need to get paid. Some days we're tighter than others.
I can relate to that. I can relate to that because they just people want you, and they want to see what you can do, and then the beneficiary of all that is them.
Yeah.
And the last one to receive something or get something is you.
Yeah.
And then you're building yourself the whole time. Along the way,
slowly but surely.
Yeah, along the way, the people are beneficiaries of that, and then they're like, when are you going to come back? And then you still have your real world scenarios or situations, and you're like, and then you know, I'm assuming your wife has a job and she works, right?
She's a teacher, and thank God my kids go to that school, so it frees up a good portion of my time.
Yeah.
And she always complaining, hey, go get a job. Hey, go get a job, and I'm like,
I got a job. I'm talking Chit
on the Chit Show
on Instagram and the Chit Show. Wait for it.
Oh, hey, Chit Show. Let me get some of that. Let me get a little bit more tequila.
All right, guys. Actually,
she
this
wants
tequila,
me to get a job.
Hold on. You know it's my dry year, guys. I'm almost done with it. It's at the end. Actually, we just had an election yesterday, and they just reelected President Trump,
Yeah.
And it's been, I think there's a little bit of that was actually
Celebrated.
celebrated, right? It's a crazy time over here in America, but interesting time. Okay, wait, what is this? Who is this, a sponsor of yours or no?
Tequileño.
Wait,
Listen.
let me see.
There are many companies out there that are going to tell you they're good and they're the best and all this. Listen, they're the ones I drink. I've been around many wine tastings, tequila tastings, and all this stuff.
That was my phone, I think. But I get that. I don't know. Who knows?
Olvídate. Just going to put it down here so that YouTube doesn't cry.
No.
Yeah, but I'm humbly trying to earn the respect from my audience. I'm not here promoting any of my stories to look cool or nothing. It's who I am, people. It's just who I am.
No. But listen. I think people need to know that. Espérate, hold on. Let me see who's.
Dale, and I'm going to go take a piss.
All right, let's go ahead and take a quick break. We're going to continue here on the Chit Show. The podcast, guys. Make sure you smash that like. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to continue talking now.
Are we live as well? No.
We're not live.
Oh,
No.
but I know there's an option to do that.
We can go live, but not right now. We're not live. All right, we'll be right back. We're back, guys. We're back. We got all our cameras back. The Cowboys hat. There it is. Hey.
Bajito, out.
Aguántate. Dale, bro. Let's go. We're working. We're working. All right, guys.
Bye, like
So just like that. You see that? Wahito was on Instagram right now talking to his people, and I was just off the record asking him, if he ever stopped anybody really important, because God knows I get stopped all the time. I got stopped the other day in Doral. I went to go hang out with a couple of friends of mine, and we went to, what's that? Not the Blue Martini, the one that DJ Laz.
Bro, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay.
I've known DJ Laz.
I don't know the guys. I don't know them. Listen, I just go. They tell me, hey, we're going to go hang out here. Whatever. This is my dryer, so I'm not even drinking, bro. And this kid, he has to be like 21, 22 years old. He was a young cop.
25. I joined the police department at age 25. Remember, I had to finish the end of my Marine Corps career.
Yeah. Well, he stopped me. This really young kid.
Oh, the kid? Oh,
He stopped me. And he goes, I'm leaving the club or whatever that place is called. I'll find out the name, guys. At some point it'll. Well, no, I leave and he goes to me. I see you're swerving.
Ah.
I was like,
he was fishing. We call that fishing.
well, I found out afterwards. Somebody said that was a sandbag, that they were sandbagging you, whatever, blah blah blah. He's a young kid. I was like, oh, that's pretty interesting because I haven't had a drink. But I know you're doing your job. Go ahead and do what you got to do. And he goes, oh, okay. And I did, and that's why he had the right to stop me. I had a light go out on my truck.
Well, there's a way to do things legitimately. He used that as a pretext stop to be able to lawfully go based off a hunch, but he has to make sure he follows the law. He's being proactive. I don't want people to think and frown upon that. No, this cop, instead of sitting in Dunkin' Donuts, he's just trying to.
No. Listen, listen. It's late in the night. If an officer could prevent somebody that's been drinking a lot and prevent an accident, I'm all for that. 100%, all day, every day. But bro, I have a light in my truck, so that if I have a light go out, I'll just swap it out real quick. It's un momento.
Yeah.
You just get the light. It's an LED. Boom.
I don't know, bro. It might take a little bit longer with people nowadays. They go to YouTube channels. Oh, let me see how it's done, and then they do it, bro.
I already did my YouTube
We're old
thing.
school, bro.
I
We're
did
old
my
school.
YouTube thing already, bro. I already had done it, so I already know what to do. And I told him, oh, if I have a light, I'll swap it out. Here's my license, here's my registration. Honey, did we pay our insurance this month? Yeah, we paid it this month. No, we're good. I was good. Everything was legit.
Hey, call me, bro.
So then he eventually let me go, and I never tell anybody who I am or what I do, right? On the contrary, when I film, I'm always behind the camera because I don't want to be in front of the camera because I really don't want to be recognized.
Yeah.
Not that I don't. It's just weird. For me, it's kind of weird, right? Like
I get it.
People come up to you, and bro, listen, I'm always going to give people love 100% of the time. But when you see yourself as an average person every single day and somebody's looking at you like they know you, and they're like, yo, Chit Show, what's up?
It is an extremely.
It's different.
It is a humbling feeling.
It's different.
And bro, listen, if I want to take a piss on a tree, I don't want to have somebody on YouTube say or on Instagram, mira ahí Chit Show ahí me dando una mata. So now you're conscious about all these new things that you're just a regular dude.
But you know, the only way you will experience that feeling, and I mean it to all the followers, is when you think of something bigger than yourself and you put yourself out there to help others and to make people happy.
Absolutely.
Like give people a reason to smile. Like,
Absolutely. And
when
listen,
you're thinking about the others.
Yes.
Understand
And
that
that's why I do what I do, right? I enjoy giving somebody a part of my day, right? So that it makes their day better. Bro, I've had some pretty crazy emails, pretty crazy situations. People have literally told me because of your channel and because of you, I've stopped myself from hurting myself, and I was ready to the brink. And that's why I tell you guys, and just like tomorrow is gonna be a better day. It always is.
I've gotten those messages too, and it's eventually I want to try to do a fishing tournament.
Okay.
To help bring awareness, donate some of the funds to a non-profit organization.
Let's go. I'm in. I mean, I can't fish for shit,
But here's the kicker. Not only military is a victim to PTSD.
oh no, of
There are
course.
civilians, there's law enforcement. Like, I want to bring up the awareness that you don't have to be a Marine Corps vet that fought in Iraq to be willing to be a man and say, I need help.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, I go to therapy. I take the medication they tell me to make. And I got,
Good.
bro, I suffered through so much muscle pains and on my joints and all this. Every time I start doing good health-wise, running, and I might work out for 3 months, I'll have 5 months where I can't do nothing.
Yeah.
Medication, the electro pads, the creams, this and that. But every time I can, I get right back on it. And it's my question to people is, because a lot of people do give up early in their goals or whatever it is, right? If only one person believes that you'll make it and you'll succeed, whether it's your mom, your girlfriend, your kids, or whatever, if only one person believes you're going to make it, is that not a good reason to keep pushing fucking forward?
Absolutely.
Instead of thinking in your
100%.
head, all the people talking crap or all the
100%.
ones that say you won't make it, bro, if only one person thinks I'll make it, I'm going to give you 120%, bro.
Wait, that was kind of loud, bro, when you hit that.
I'm doing it. But it was de corazón.
Oye,
Está entusiasmado.
Bájame eso, caballero. I just lost an eardrum, guys. Quítale drink ahí, El Guajiro. But going back to that, I never use my influence to my advantage, right? People help me, and they respect that I don't really, but obviously you can if you want to, right? But I'm going to the point that as a police officer, you must have been able to stop certain people. Listen, off the record, we're off the record right now. I remember one time I was a jit. I was like 18, yeah. I was 18. No, I was maybe a little. I was a little. No, I was a little. I was reckless. I was probably 22, 23. I go ahead and bro, my dad died when I was 18, bro. So I had no money. I had to figure it all out by myself the whole time. Yeah. I was living alone, bro. As an 18-year-old kid, I had to survive. I worked on my own. I had my own little small business. I didn't know what I was doing.
The Miami hustle.
So I grew up learning on the streets. I get into a fender bender. There wasn't text messaging back in the days. So I was just comiendo mierda. I was probably listening to DJ Laz on the radio or something.
Oye, morena, qué buena está.
And then, paletazo, I get tremendo hit in the back. Ahí me cago en la pintura, bro. So I stopped. You know, I tell the guy it wasn't big, you know, the big thing. But you know how everything is. Mi cuello.
Even back then? No, that wasn't that big back then. Hey, if you've been in an accident,
go ahead,
you got to call my boy, the accident guru. Oye, pro injury, what's up?
Ay, coño.
There you go. And Goldberg and Rosen, best attorneys.
Okay. So I get into the little fender bender. And this guy starts making a scene about it, bro. I'm like, hey, listen, bro. I had some cash on me. I know it's some, and I told the guy, listen, I'll give you $500. Just let me go. I knew at the time my license was probably bad. You know what I'm saying? Hey, bro, listen, it's a young kid without no money trying to figure it out. At the same time, you're trying to party, you're trying to hang, you're trying to do trips, you're trying to do all the things that you're gonna do, and then all of a sudden, bro, guess who pulls up? Bro, one of my
my dogs that I went to school with, that I hung out with, that I did all the crazy shit when I was a kid. He looked at me.
He's a cop.
He's a cop. He goes. He looked at me. I looked at him. I said to myself, thank God. He probably heard me in his head, and he said,
Aquí no pasó nada.
what's going on here, guys? This is less than $500. I need you guys to move on the side. You get the paper, get his information. I got to get going.
There you go.
I was like, bro, if it was anybody else, I'd probably be in the front of what's this place? The Chevy dealership ahí en La Ocho.
Okay, yeah.
Bueno,
I know which one you're talking
over
about.
there. I
It was
bought my truck.
Brayman, I think.
Whatever.
Anthony Abraham for a while. Back in the day.
Back in the days. When you always when you see the Corvettes when you're a kid. Mira, Bobby,
Yeah.
mira, Bobby. Well, long story short, I would have been arrested there.
Shout out to them. That's where I got my wife her 2022 Chevy Tahoe.
That's where I
Just
got,
before I retired.
That's where I got my truck, and I don't even know the name. You guys got to do better on the marketing. I don't.
Yep.
I don't know.
I don't know the name, but yeah.
So yeah. But in that circumstance, there's sometimes you deal with cool cops, sometimes you deal with bad cops. We've seen that in society.
I retired because of that too. If you really want to know.
Because of what?
I actually got fed up. There's a lot of cops that they were, like there was one guy there who would pretend to be a Marine.
Okay.
He would always tell people and other
Stolen
police
Valor
officers.
type?
Yeah,
Stolen
bro.
Valor. Like,
He
wow.
would brag about he was a Marine. I remember once even on Veterans Day parade, something was going on. The commander was like, hey, I'm going to let so-and-so ride the I don't know what, off the top of my head. And I'm like, hey, that guy's not even a Marine.
Yeah.
He was never a Marine. He would tell people he was a gunner sergeant, all this crap. He got shot and all this crazy shit. And I'm like, hey, man,
Yeah.
commander, no. And then he would tell the rookies.
And
He's
that's
the type
kinda
of
big for
guy
you.
that would show up to the scene. And if you're doing an arrest or writing a ticket, he would show up as your backup and start screaming and belittling the driver.
Yeah.
And I would tell people, and I called them out on it. You know, people wouldn't believe me. There was one officer who actually had contact, ran his social, and sure enough, we got documentation like, hey, bro. He did say, oh, stop and all this, but you complain about him and they brush you off. Then at the end, I went to internal affairs to complain on another officer. And I'm like, hey, I want to speak directly to Lieutenant so-and-so. Oh, yeah, I'm going to talk to you, give you some heads up about some shady shit from one of your officers. But I only want to deal with you. Because if the department finds out you're here, like, coño, on a... He's like, meet me on such and such date, come by at this time. Bro, when I get there, everybody already know, oh, you're here to complain about so-and-so? I was like, man, I don't need this shit, I retired.
Yeah.
Because I'm the type of cop, bro, I'll pull you over. And I understand I was raised, my parents did all right. My dad owned the car dealership, we did okay.
Yeah.
But Bob, I'm from the streets. I remember getting home from school, ride that bike, go to the basketball courts.
Yeah, go to the-
I've been
to the
robbed, like I
rec,
told
yeah,
you. I've
yeah.
had knives pulled on me. I got beat up, jumped multiple times. I was leave when I got home on my bike, ride out, come
Yeah.
back before the sun set.
Yeah. You have your beeper and your old man tells you, hey, make sure when I beep you, call me back.
There's
1-800
people
collect.
struggling. There's people that you cannot give them a $175, $200+ ticket. Like that will end them.
I know.
Coño, and over something stupid, come on.
It does hurt.
But that's
a lot
what's
of
frowned
people.
upon.
Okay, so Stolen Valor, and for the record, you actually made it a point to show me that you were a real Marine, right? Like
Yeah.
he showed me documentation.
And I got pictures I'm gonna show you later. I
Yeah.
even have after action reports for firefights and stuff. Because people talk crap all the time.
Well, listen. It's not like you're going on your Instagram to tell everybody, hey, guess what?
You've never heard me. I've had
No,
much success on my social media
Of
platforms.
course, and you don't talk about
And
it.
that's it. I've had some drinks. I took an edible. I'm loose.
No, you
but
didn't
this ain't
take
shit I
that.
tell nobody.
No, listen. The point is that's not really why that people follow you on social media. This is the Pablo, right? Guys, there's the caricature, right? And there's not the caricature. It's still a part of you, but it's different parts of your personality that you can amp stuff up, right?
Yeah.
Because right now we're silly, we're talking shit, whatever, doing what we do.
You don't see me cursing like
No.
I do on a lot of the videos.
Yeah.
That's me, but I know how to behave in front of people. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been a cop for, it was almost 16 years that I retired with.
Yes, and one of the reasons what I've told Pablo, the Real Outdoorsman, privately, I'm like, hey, bro, all that stuff that you do on Instagram is not going to work on YouTube, right? Because first of all, like you have two daughters,
right?
Yeah.
I have 2 daughters and I have a son. And my youngest daughter, I don't want her to listen to some stuff that you can put.
They are my number 1 fans.
Sí, porque
And
tú eres
it
un
breaks
loco.
my heart when they do look at some videos on. They promote it with all their kids' friends.
But then they
in school.
But what if that comment on the thing?
That's why they
right,
see
you
the
know what I'm
bad
saying?
words sometimes, and I'm like, damn.
That's right. And listen, the kids won't understand what you're really doing, right?
Yeah.
So it's nice at this point in history to have people like you that feel so uncensored to say whatever you can and do. I'm sure you've been censored on Instagram multiple times.
Yeah, all the time. I'm shadow banned. Mr. Red, I met Mr. Red once at a tactical shooting training. Bro, and fair enough. He ignored me, paid me no mind. You know, I kept on minding my business. But
Something turned on.
the light right here, yeah, coño, that's like a $5 light I bought on OfferUp.
Bueno.
Bastante duro.
Bueno, if he has a shadow on his face, guys, that's what it is. That was his light.
Coño, I forgot what we were talking
Okay, we're
about.
talking about Mr. Red.
So,
and mind you guys, I don't really know these characters.
I didn't think to use him. Like, oh my God, I'm gonna be his friend to use him. I'm like, hey, if he could benefit from any help from me, I'm here for you. I don't bother people. He's extremely successful in social media. Like, he's one person you could idolize. He's trying to do things the right way. But later on, we did build a friendship, and he's reached out to me, hey, do you need some help? And I try not to bother these people. Unfortunately, a lot of people in Miami, they just want to use people.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm making it a point to show him the side of YouTube because my strategy was always forget about the sponsors, build a community, let your community keep you along, and then make your money with YouTube.
The
right?
sponsors have been the ones actually to keep me afloat, bro. Thank God.
Okay.
But because of the support of
Yes.
my followers.
Because of the support of their followers. But there comes a time that things, for whatever reason, the economy goes bad, this and that, all of a sudden, you still have your real world problems that you got to deal with, right? You got a family, you got 2 little girls, I mean, Lord knows you got to put food on the table, all that stuff.
But
But
cheerleading was like $2,000 because they're both in cheerleading.
yeah, you should
Yeah.
you should talk to the coach, bro.
Yeah, right.
That's
My
your
wife's
wife,
the coach.
Coño. Hey, you gotta tell her, hey, tone it down on the
Think about it.
on the outfits.
My wife is a teacher, the PE teacher at my kids' school. So she's in charge of taking them to school and bringing them from school. And guess what? My kids go to cheerleading after school. And guess who's their cheerleading coach?
Yeah.
My wife.
Yeah.
So they don't get home till 6:37 the whole day. What am I gonna do, bro?
So
I do help out around the house. I'm not one of these machismo guys. Listen, I'll vacuum if it's needed. If I got to do some dishes, I do.
guys,
I don't care. I help out
there's
wherever I
no
can, bro.
carpet in this house anywhere. El tipo está hablando mierda.
So-
There's nothing here. But no joda. All right. I bet you he has. Look, the most I've seen him do so far is go in the back and get an egg and put it over there.
Yeah.
Que los gallos están haciendo, la
I
gallina
do.
are doing. But the point I was trying to get to is you've probably stopped some important people. Can you remember
So I'm gonna
anybody?
save the best for last.
Oh, okay, so
One of them was Paulina Rubio, that we ended up having to arrest her.
the
The
singer,
singer, Paulina Rubio.
we had to arrest her.
Yeah. So she was involved in an accident,
Okay.
but her car was disabled in the conditions where you can't just drive it off. Oh, move to the side of the road. It was in Brickell before Brickell became the hot stuff that it is now.
it was Mary Brickell Village
Yeah.
before that. Yeah, a firehouse.
And her car's in the middle of the street, disabled, stopped
What
on
kind
8th
of
Street.
what kind of car? It
It was a
wasn't a
BMW,
Tesla.
if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And then
Paulina, if you want your version, call into the Chit Show. We'll fix this. Ahí por si acaso. Porque now this is getting the good part of the show.
but you'll see where my
Yeah.
maturity from my life lessons have got
Yeah.
me, right? She ends up getting out of the car. She gives us the documents because it was my boy Mercado's with me, a Puerto Rican Latino as well.
Yeah.
And she's all stressing out over paparazzis. But we're not getting it.
That
We
she
didn't
probably-
recognize
that
it.
she probably called.
So
No.
she's there on the sidewalk. I don't know, paparazzis, and in our head, we're like,
Yeah. Get off my.
okay, you got to stay right here. She's like, no, I got to go to my car. I'm like, look, you're on 8th Street. There in the car is stopped. Somebody's bound to be eating crap and whack into the back of that car.
Yeah.
And you are my responsibility. People don't understand that. Once we're on the scene,
Yeah.
Your livelihood is now my liability. Okay, not just I'm responsible. No, I'm liable for it.
Yeah.
Right. So she ends up brushing us off and making a walk after multiple warnings. I'm going to my car. And my friend, instead of being a little bit more patient, I think we could have used a little bit more patience. Gets her, slaps handcuffs on her. I was like, hey, you're obviously heated up. He felt disrespected. Put her in my car. She's going off, and obviously she started screaming.
Did she start
paparazzi.
singing in the process? Or
She's screaming police brutality is what she was singing.
The note, did you hear like her notes?
No, it was till after we looked at her driver's license that we read Paulina Rubio. I was like,
and then you're like I. Do you ever say that at that point?
no, because we're doing our job.
Bro, look at what happened with Tyreek Hill recently, right? At the stadium.
I think there's more to that story, but what I was going to get at is Paulina Rubio is, I let her vent. She started screaming police brutality and all this and that. We really didn't. We handled our jobs.
Yeah.
But then I started explaining to her our part.
Yeah.
Because what it is she just failed to understand why we were doing things the way we were doing it.
Yeah.
She's from Mexico, and the way
Yeah,
I guess
you get $50, you get
different.
$50 and they leave you alone. And over here you're just like,
She probably came to us in a different limelight and be like, hey, I'm so-and-so. I'd be embarrassed if they took a picture of me. I would have told her, hey, go grab some coffee across the street. Leave me your documents.
yeah.
I'll go get you when I'm done with the accident report. It was that simple.
Let me
She
know.
ended up going to jail, bro.
Necesito un
Getting
peine.
arrested.
So, did you need a hairbrush, some hairspray, so you look better? So she was running from the paparazzi. It happened to Princess Diana.
Yeah,
Things happen. Well, long story short, you took her in.
Yeah. Well, I was part of the negotiation. We brought in my Sarge because she had just had a baby. And she was breastfeeding.
All right, guys, I got to go. Thank you so much for watching the Chit Show. Paulina, please call me. I want to go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because of her breastfeeding schedule and everything, we did a promise to appear.
Okay.
So she did sign the arrest form, where she would just appear in court whenever needed, or
So
send her attorney.
she didn't go
She
to
was able to
TGK.
go home. Correct. She was able to go home to her family.
I don't feel so bad
Because
now,
people
guys.
think police departments don't have. Yes, we are human beings.
Listen, I'm a big fan of police departments.
I listened to her music in Iraq, bro. I had her CD when I was in Iraq.
He está
telling you.
está limpiando, bro, big time.
Dead serious.
This is a cleaning moment.
Yeah.
Okay, so you arrested Paulina Rubio. Is there anybody that you actually took in?
The coolest story that I think I could tell you today is I once pulled over Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan? Jordan, the basketball player?
Michael Jordan.
Not the son.
The Michael Jordan.
What kind of car was he in?
It was an SL65 wide body, V12 twin turbo. And I'm a big car guy. I had a Mitsubishi Evo at the time.
Okay.
And I had a little work and whatnot.
Yo,
And
I'd like to see where this goes.
whatever I forgot with the pretext I used to pull them over, I pulled them over. Bagada.
But you
Turned on
didn't
the
know.
lights.
You're like,
I didn't
let me
know.
see
I didn't know
inside
at
the
the
car,
time.
por si acaso,
I
let's
wanted
see.
to check out the car more than anything else. Bro,
No,
his
you
tints
didn't.
were obviously limo. But when that window goes down and I see that it's him, just like I'm reacting to you, I was like, brah. Of course you would have this car.
Yeah, of course.
Amazing car, but I don't bother talking to him about his basketball career or, oh my God, let me get a picture, let me get an
Yeah, you're
autograph.
doing your job at that point.
Like, beautiful car. I shook his hand. I congratulate you on owning such an amazing piece of machinery. I was mind blown. I had never seen twin turbos on a V12.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine that's a jet. And I gave him my number. I was like, look, I am the officer for this area, because he educated me that he is living somewhere in downtown. I was like, hey, if you have any issues, bro, call me.
Yeah.
And then one day, I think it was like 2 weeks later, I'm washing my car. I get a text from Michael Jordan himself.
Get the hell out of here.
He's like, you want to get some? He's like, what are you doing? And I'm freaking out. I was like, oh my God, I can't text him real quick because then I look desperate. I kept it short. True shit. Well, whatever, bro. I
You
responded.
think Michael Jordan's gonna care? He's calling you, bro.
He texted me.
I can tell you, bro. Where do you need me to be?
Yeah, I was like,
Enriqueta, ¿dónde?
what am I doing? I kept it short. Nothing. He responds back, you want to get something to eat? I waited a while. I wrote back, sure. I was like, no way, bro. He responds to me, the location, the time. I go inside, I take a shower. My wife sees me coming out of the shower. She's like, with
¿Que
a
dónde
fudge.
cojones va este? Me está...
¿Dónde tú vas?
Yeah.
Come pan y no comas basura. You
Yeah.
know, like, where do you think you go? I go, bro.
I'm gonna go chill with Michael Jordan. I'll be right back.
You think she let me go?
Sit your ass down.
She was like, I'm coming with you.
No.
I was like, babe, I'll probably never see this guy ever again. Let's go. Oh yeah, I'm telling you, one of the nicest.
Your wife is there with binoculars.
Nah, she went.
She
We
went.
had lunch. It was the Yardbird actually in Miami Beach. Humble guy, bro. We didn't bother him about basketball again. We didn't ask for pictures. There was a few pictures that came in, the paparazzis, where you could see me walking with him. But I didn't care for the guy for the benefits he could do for my life.
Yeah.
Where I actually wanted to be more of a, hey, if you need anything from me, you can call me.
Yeah.
That's it. I never bothered him. Hey, some baseball players that I hunt and I hang out with,
Yeah.
they're like, hey, reach out to him, see if he's willing to hang out with us. I did one time and that was it.
Well, I think like doing what I'm doing now and the stuff with the Chit Show and all that stuff, and obviously people reach out and all that stuff, and for me, the people that really don't, they just want to be themselves, and they're just regular and they just treat me like a regular person.
Yeah.
I'll shoot the shit with them. I
agree.
Talk shit. You know, if you come up to me and you tell me, "Hey, bro, I'm not a stalker. I just want you to know that." That's the first rule of not talking to somebody, because they're gonna hear that line all the time, right?
Yeah.
Like you're, hey, bro, listen up. You know, like, and look, I'll be straight up. I had 2 subscribers helping me at this show that are my subscribers, and they were hanging with me in the shed, chilling, doing what we were doing. They helped out, and they broke through, right? Just like you broke through
relatable, bro.
with some people, right? Because you're just a regular person. And first things first is, am I in a situation where I'm going to be compromised, right? What do we mean? Or at least what I mean when you're going to be compromised. If I say something, right?
Yeah.
Like you have a mic right now. You can go ahead. Donde está el gallo ahí, the cock is over there in the bathroom right now. Lo pueden
Take a phone call and it's-
mandarlo para la pintura, whatever. Imagine, I have people that I've mic'd up,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden I'm hearing these random conversations that I'm not supposed to know about, but they trust that I'm not going to say certain things, and that's why I have the access that I have, right? Because more importantly, people trust that I'm not going to go ahead and F them over,
Yeah.
right? So when I talk to like, bro, I'll tell you, recently, Marine Patrol over there at Black Point, they gave me a challenge coin.
Yeah.
And I thought that was such a cool, for me, it was like an honor, because think about it, like these guys, I see them and I see what they do on a daily, and I respect that. And for them to go out of the way to go back there and say, hey, listen, we respect what you do, and whether they're not saying they accept it or but they as an individual, they hold me in a standard, which I think is cool.
And me as a prior cop, I'm even more honored. But I think we have to, everybody, remember that these first responders have a hard job as it is.
Oh, absolutely.
And we
100%.
need to keep that in mind and honor
Yeah.
our first responders, both
100%.
firefighters,
Yeah, 100%.
our teachers, our law enforcement.
Yeah.
But for one of them to come to you and be like, oh my God, I follow what you do, and that you're able to help him with his day.
Yeah.
I have rookies that were rookies when I was a cop. Oye, I'm the guy that I didn't run from shit.
Yeah.
Shit went down and it was a bad person. I was running in that back. There was a burglary one time. They were robbing a construction site. Bro, I turned off my police radio and I walked in there with no flashlight, no nothing, because I happened to be across the street when the call went out. And I'm radioing in the guy's tag.
Yeah.
And I'm in there, oh snap. I see him in the corner of my eye, pull out my gun. Oye, I multiple times Officer of the Month awards, congressional recognitions. But I'm the type of guy that I don't feel deserving of none of that.
Yeah.
I'm just doing my job. This is what my community expects from me, and this is what I'm supposed to give them.
Which is what people expect, right? Like, that's your job.
Yeah.
And you want to do your job to the best of your ability.
But that's actually frowned upon. Back again. What do you think now happens when you pull over somebody? They have a warrant for extradition. They had a bunch of drugs. You got to impound the car. Your shift was about to end like in an hour. What do you think happens? You screwed over somebody who just wants to be a slug.
Yeah.
Because this is what would get to me. They just want to be in the 7-Eleven or the Quick Stop and not do anything all day. Now he's
Why
got to
it's
transport your
Why
prisoner.
it's got to be 7-Eleven? I got my hats at the 7-Eleven.
I'll say because I worked for the Grove many years.
I got 7-Eleven. My hats
Yeah.
on the 7-Eleven. This I'm trying
Yeah,
to
I
do a
love
plug over here.
7-Eleven.
7-Eleven on Old Color Road, guys. Go get your Chit Show merch over there. It's over there. Actually,
7-Eleven, what's up?
hey, you know what? At my 7-Eleven, somebody's hitting up my merch and they're stealing it. Why don't you go ahead and play cop for a day? But you're retired now.
I'm retired, bro. Listen, I want to help people. I don't want to hurt nobody. I've pulled over Mexicans. Well, take a stop sign, and when you look at them, they're all full of dirt, and they've been painting all day. They've been working. I'm like, listen, bro. Stupid body cam is on. I have to do something.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a ticket. I gotta either tow the car or have the owner of the car because they don't have no license. They ain't got no paperwork.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'll give you the ticket. But Pablo, have the owner come or I have to take the car. Well, I have to tow the car. I'm not keeping it. I gotta impound the car.
Well, you know the song Verado. Did you ever know that I was on a boat, that the boat lost the engine? Did you ever hear about that?
No, I didn't.
Okay, I was hauling ass doing a sea trial on a boat, on a rib boat, and you know when you're running really hard on a boat, sometimes the motors fall off. One motor fell off. Long story short,
People think owning a boat is all fun and games, bro.
Listen,
You have no clue.
Listen.
You have no idea.
Shit happens, bro.
On a constant basis.
So I thought it would be a good idea to go back and get the boat, the motor.
The motor.
Right? 11 days later, in 100 feet of water, and film it and put it on YouTube. I thought that would be cool. I thought it would be cool because I always think that there's going to be little kids that are going to see somebody do something that they think is hard, and somebody did it. Like, you know, you go to the gym, you do 225, you do it once, you're like, oh, shoot, I did it. And then the next time it's easier. And then you go to 255, and then I've done it. Same thing. So I figured, I'll just show that it can be done. Everybody doubted me on YouTube, whatever.
Yep.
I actually get the motor. It's in Riviera Beach. When I get the motor, I come back. I'm at my friend's house, who's my mechanic. We start taking the motor apart. We start pickling it. We put diesel and all that stuff so that
and whatever O-rings and whatever.
Well, we pickled it, and it's all on camera, guys. You guys can check out the Sunk Verado series. That's a good segue, by the way. That was very good.
I'm more of a Suzuki guy, but
Listen, I like Suzuki too, reliable marine. But long story short, it was a Mercury outboard that fell. I get it. I'm in the back. I have it in the back of the pickup truck. I finish. We drop it off, and then I had a little like a crane, right, to actually get it at the boat ramp.
of course.
I had to think about everything because I'm far away from home. It's not like
What do you think? You were just gonna drag it the whole way back?
Listen, we did drag it pretty far, but it's a chit show. Listen, long story short, we get it back. We end up putting it on the actual back of the truck. We get it to my friend's house. That he's in Sweetwater. He's the mechanic. We do the pickling, and then the following day we're gonna work on it. It's 2, 3 in the morning, bro. I'm matao. I'm telling you, I'm matao. You guys don't know. I came over here matao because I just moved my shed from the Fort Lauderdale International Boat Show.
Which it was more raining than anything else.
It was a scene. No, it was a great show. But I'm saying, like, it was hard, right? Because I literally physically took my studio over there. Well, no, I get stopped by 2 cops. 3 in the morning. Random car. They don't see people in that area.
Yeah.
They stopped me for no reason, right? I didn't do anything wrong. I was just tired, bro. I was tired. You know, at first they were a little, I was like, is these guys, you could tell they're on their 4th coffee at that time. And I was like, hey, here's this and that. And then a code comes in. Never forget this, guys.
You got saved by the bell.
I got saved by a code. Hey, so-and-so code this and that. So I tell one of my buddies, because I have a lot of friends that are police officers. He's like, Pablo, that's a rape happening at the moment.
Yeah.
Those guys got, the minute that they heard that code, I was like, hey, officer. He goes, hey, have a good night. Ran into their car.
That happens more often than not, bro.
They ran into their car, and they whooped.
Or it could be an officer backup with emergency.
Listen. At that point,
over a ticket, or help out my buddy.
Listen, I think they just wanted to see who the hell was there, right? Like, you know, what's this random?
They're being proactive. That's the word. Don't get mad at a cop for being proactive.
I don't mind it, right? Like, you guys come around my neighborhood all the way you want. Every now and then they hit on my car or my truck, so I don't mind that, because you know you want to know who's in the area and whatnot. But I'll never forget that because I had been so tired, and I was like, oh shit, I gotta get home. And you know, I'm worried about falling asleep and all that stuff. And these guys, I woke up completely. I was like, oh shit. I saw those blue lights, and I was like, ugh, ahí se me acabó la noche. I was having the best day ever.
Yeah.
Imagine, I found something in the middle of the ocean that's not supposed to be there, and I didn't know if I was gonna find it. I didn't know.
Yeah.
When I first went to over there, like we were hauling ass, we dropped the motor fell off, and I tell the person, hey, mark the spot, mark the spot, mark the spot.
So it's a ballpark area of where it's at, not legit. People think, oh yeah, no.
Papo, I'm from Hialeah, bro. That guy dropped the engine. I said, espérate, estos son $30,000, caballero.
Y el seguro no me lo va a cubrir.
4 al 0 se lo llevo y se lo zumbo ahí en Hialeah, and they'll buy this all day. Now I saw the opportunity.
Yeah, people want to see that.
I saw the YouTube, right? Like the storytelling of it, and I said, and when I told my friend to go help me do it, I told him, listen, I'm going to compensate you for your time. But I knew the minute that he got invested into the story, he was going to be hooked. Because there's no way that guy wasn't going to start that engine after he saw it come from the bottom of the depth. And just, bro, it was wild, bro. When I was actually having a little bit of this. I wasn't having a tequileno or what it is.
Vintage liquors.
I'm gonna try this when I come back on the 31st.
After midnight.
After midnight. Yeah, well, actually, I can go a little sooner because I gave myself a little earlier to
Did
go
you?
off. So, yes. So, guys, I go every 3 years, 1 year dry, just to let my liver and my body heal.
Which something else along that aspect, real quick, the people voted like 57% to legalize marijuana, but it had to be 60% to pass. So it did not pass.
I voted against it, by the way.
So
No, hold on. I voted against it. You know why? Because I'm a hater.
nah, I just think if you
I voted
legalize it, the fad would fade away. Because alcohol, I think, to me is worse and brings out really bad in people.
Yeah.
And I'm sure marijuana might have sometimes that effect. But as a cop,
Yeah.
telling you right now, I never encountered a violent person that was high.
Yeah.
But most of the shit shows were people under the influence of alcohol.
Yeah, 100%. Like if somebody's gonna hurt somebody else, it's under the influence. It happens on boats. It happens.
I gotta
in
piss
cars.
really bad.
All right, guys. He's gonna go piss really bad. So he's gonna go ahead and talk to the other cock over there.
Yeah.
So we'll be right back. 3 days later, bro, that took like 10 minutes. I think you.
Que no hable mierda. He was there repairing all his batteries that he forgot and he didn't charge.
Bro, listen. I had half an hour to get ready over here, so I don't smell like a piece of shit. To get over here and be presentable for this thing, guys. We only have one angle now, so this is the angle you guys got.
Oh, yeah, it's something that people don't know why, to explain why the amount of guns. I used to own, I opened up, while I was still a cop, I opened up a gun store called Zulu Armory. I had sold it. Obviously, I'm not selling guns. I don't do none of that. So don't hit me up. I don't sell anything. Which is why I learned so much about how to build, the silencers, the short barrel rifles, the full autos that I've owned. I learned all that while I had the business and I got it up and running.
So how long did you own that store?
2 years. I made just shy of $980,000 my second year in gross.
Nice.
Sold it. That's why I got to the point where I was like, oh, if the police department's dealing with BS and they want to play games, I'm out. I'd rather be poor and be happy and with my wife and kids happy than to be miserable working out in the street where they were forcing us to start writing tickets. It was after George Floyd and COVID.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you got to start making arrests. The sergeant was starting to harass me of like, oh, I'm going to start riding in the car with you. And then, everything else falling into place, the officers I was going to complain about. And it's like, this is not how the police department is supposed to run. I'm not talking bad about me. All that has changed.
No. Yeah.
I had my issues with it, and I'd rather walk out.
It is what it is. Yeah, you did what you got to do. Let me put this away, por si acaso, por las moscas.
Los mosquitos.
Por las moscas. So you owned that for 2 years.
Yeah.
You sold it. And then at what point did you start doing Instagram? Can you?
I would post just pictures of some guns or a build. DJ Laz brought in a rusted gun. He ended up forgetting that it was even there on his boat. And I'll see if I can show you pictures of, long as the serial number is not shown, because obviously out of respect for DJ Laz, I'm not gonna put his firearm out there with serial numbers. But if I find a picture, we ended up milling out where all the rust used to be.
Editor, find the worst gun possible and just go ahead and put it in the clip, please.
It was rusted to the point where chunks of the metal were missing. Okay? We milled it out. We made it look all fancy, sophisticated, painting it with skulls and all this. Because I had access to a paint booth, the sandblasters and everything, and I would Cerakote guns.
Okay.
When the painting of firearms was starting to take off,
Okay.
I ventured into it. I went to Harbor Freight, me compré ahí una pistolita ahí. I started practicing.
Yeah.
Eventually learned the process.
And started
I
doing it.
started training employees. And
There's a couple guys in Cutler Bay that actually follow me. I see them every time I get coffee at that 7-Eleven that I sell my hats at.
Yeah.
Chi. Go get them hats, guys. Actually, they steal them more than they buy them.
That's messed up, bro.
Bro, they do. Literally, I'm gonna make a
I
hat
like
that
to
says
get the crocodile
Godspeed.
one. I like the crocodile
Yeah,
one.
Miami Fred County.
That's it.
So you're doing that. You obviously had people coming up to you.
As I was a
fixing-
cop, I would do that as well.
Cool.
I had my business. Like I
you-
said, I had a full
you're
machine
an
shop with my
entrepreneur.
father-in-law. Bro, my wife backed me up. I had good employees at the time,
Yeah.
but it became too much. And then once I retired, I was like, oh, I sold it.
What got you into doing content? Like, how did you? If you got to take a call, just go ahead and call them.
No.
Go ahead.
I have
sin
no idea
problema.
what this number is.
Don't worry about
And
it.
I'm so lazy at writing down the contact info when people call me.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
So what got you into content? Like what?
I always
where
thought the
was
guns.
that? Like that moment you said, "Bro, that guy does that. I can do this." Blah, 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 blah.
No,
What happened?
It was
How-
never like that.
Okay, how did it get?
I always thought firearms would get me to the recognition fame. And I did okay, obviously without mention, I built firearms for a lot of firearms.
Okay.
For a lot of celebrities.
Okay.
And they would be happy. They would have me build sometimes firearms of $10,000 when I had Zulu.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, this is what's going to...
What do you do to a 10,000 to get?
Scopes alone, for example, a thermal scope from Trigicon can cost you $9,000 right off the back.
I want to say something right now. But
Yeah,
Por si
but
acaso, because
You see my videos? I'll send you a clip so you can put it and show them what it looks like.
Okay,
with the thermals.
I can see because of hunting, right?
Yeah.
Like, listen, everybody has their vice, right?
Yeah,
Everybody has their
I
own
agree.
thing, right? And if you got the money and all that stuff, like do whatever. It's your money, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Um,
And I don't care who
but-
you were. I charged what it was. And
yeah, your time and based
I
on
treated
what you
everybody. I still have people that were clients of mine when I had Zulu. Still
Yeah.
talk to them on a regular.
do. Okay.
I say hi to everybody that calls me. I try to answer their calls, reply to them. But the guns weren't what threw me over the top. I did one video using foul language on a boat while we were about to go fishing, and that's what blew up for me. And I was like,
and you kept the foul language the whole time. A mini pintura. And now you got a guy like Alfred that has a sign that says, "Here's the YouTube. You have this character. You're gonna have the YouTube character, and over here,
yeah.
it's Instagram character, which is
Yep.
the bad." And regrettably, right? You did something, and it got a lot of attention, and then you said, "Hey, I did it once," and then you did it again. And
We
it
have
blew-
a thing in the
and it
Marines
blew
where they
up
say
again.
adapt or die.
Yeah.
Right? Hey, this is what I really want to be doing this, but this is what I tell people. And I have a couple that have come to me for advice.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, but I want my fame from fishing. I go, look, I wanted my recognition based off of this.
Yeah.
But this is what got me fame. I could always come back around to this later.
Yeah, you put your cowboy hat. Look, go put your cowboy hat. Give them like a pretend that you're doing like something, like the character that they know.
but that character es de corazón, you know.
I
A mí
know,
la
I-
piña!
¿Viste?
You know?
All right, there you go. So that,
Cheers.
Cheers to el agua que se me fue.
It's years
No,
of bad sex if you cheers with water.
No, that's not good then.
Yeah, it's not.
But that's how you blew up, right? That you got this reaction, and then they see you very animated,
right?
I always doubt myself. Even today, I feel like, what am I doing? Where am I going
Yeah,
with
but this is a good podcast. You know why this is a good podcast? Because they're getting to know you.
No,
right?
and I'm being myself.
Yeah,
There's no stress on me.
Yeah, you're being you. Other than these
My
cameras,
wife can testify. I've seen pictures of the war. Like I'll find some of the Polaroid pictures, and I'll break down crying.
Yeah.
You know, but eventually,
No.
you build a little bit of a callus, and you understand that's a message that it's you.
Yeah.
So you get it out there and stop feeling ashamed about it, because even though we did all this, you still feel a level of shame because even one casualty is too many.
Yeah. Well, that person that you are now, right, is the person that actually, how can I say, supports your family, right?
Yeah.
That Pablo or the real outdoorsman that they know is what brings you the attention that the actual advertisers want.
Yeah.
Now this laid back,
Which you want to
Pablo-
laugh?
Go. I bet you dial it back, and then all of a sudden you don't get the same amount of views.
I'm
And
going
now-
to tell you, and I'm going to freak out all the followers.
Go ahead. Oh, it's gonna get ready, guys.
Are you guys ready to know? And
you-
some of my sponsors might have a problem with this, but I think it'll be more good if they just trust me on this. I got all the success that I have right now because I asked for it. I approached Atlantic Marine. I didn't have the money. I was like, man, I'm always fishing. I take out veterans fishing all the time.
Yeah.
This is who I am. This is what I've been through. I need a new trailer. Would you sponsor me and hook me up with a new trailer? They thought about it. They came back to me and said, I got you. I was like, hey, man.
Atlantic Marine down in Hialeah.
Yeah.
And they're big supporters of my channel,
Oh,
guys. They've
amazing
always
people.
bought all my hats. Great people over there.
They are.
So they got you a trailer.
They hooked me up with a dual axle, but they didn't just give me a trailer. They gave me one that was aluminum rims, all tricked out, extra rim and tire, extra hub. Like they went above and beyond.
Time out. Let me go ahead and
And I had talked to a Reliable, which, long as you show both sides of the story, I have nothing bad to say about them, because I did not get to meet him. He is a good person, Ruben, those people. But I gotta keep my loyalty because he came after the fact. My loyalty came from him.
And guys, I don't pick any sides either, but
just so people know,
Reliable actually. Here's my story. I said, hey, listen, guys, I don't really open up the gates to the Chit Show, right? I know the actual, I know the opportunity it is for certain
it's a business.
people.
It's a business.
And then I said, hey, listen, I'm doing this cruise. I'm opening up the Chit Show to this cruise, and the first people who reached out to me was Reliable.
Yeah.
And for me, I was like, hey, Reliable, Valentino Boats, and Solus Boats. They reached out to me. And then I said, all right, I appreciate you guys. And now I'm always going to go ahead and support them because at the moment I needed.
That's why I wanted to mention, because I know they both do the same. They both might be competitors, but there's always, I tell people the example.
They're good people.
They could be a CVS and a Walgreens across the street from each other.
Yeah.
There's enough.
Yeah.
They're both good. But now I went to them and said, hey, I need new motors.
Okay.
Can you help me pitch to Suzuki?
Okay.
They go hook me up. Guess what, mofo?
You're gonna get some.
I get twin 200s now once the boat is done.
How much do you have more to go to
But
the
hold
boat?
on.
How far do you?
It gets better. I reached out to Wet Sounds.
Okay.
Hey, Wet Sounds. This is what I got going on. This is my situation. Think you can hook it up? They said yes.
Good.
Give me a list of all the speakers you want. The powder coating. Hey,
Boom.
I have this bill in my head, this dream, and
what-
I think I could do this, this, and that. Can you powder coat? Miami Powder. Shout out to them.
Miami Powder.
Yeah.
The beast.
Then all of a sudden, I see all these other things. Next Wave Marine told me, hey, check the fuel in your tank. If you got all this investments and all these sponsors taking a risk on you, make sure the fuel tank is good.
Yeah.
Miami Fuel came out. They drained all the gas. Atlantic Marine helped me rip the tank out. Next Wave Marine said, hey, here's a brand new tank.
They're like, I'm not even gonna worry about that one, bro. It's easier to give you a brand new one.
They're like, here's it, a brand new tank. Because my boat's a 1990 Mako.
Yeah.
Then-
And are you almost done with that boat?
JYM Marine, which is now called the Boat Pro.
Okay.
It has the center console itself.
All right.
They're finishing up painting it. I tried doing the paint myself. Didn't come out that good. And they're gonna do all the rigging.
So you like the struggle. You like the struggle. I'll do
try,
this
bro.
myself, bro. You know, I got a buddy like that does everything by himself. His name is Fishman Joe. I don't know if you ever heard of Fishman Joe.
No, I haven't,
he sells the bait over there at a haulover, right?
Okay.
So you know he's a commercial bait guy.
and he shrimps, and I've done videos with him, and they're cool videos, and he's all about the struggle, bro. He's the struggle, like.
And people want to see you struggle.
For
whatever reason.
I told him, I said, Joe, why don't we just get somebody to do that, bro? He's like, I'd do that myself. I go, but it won't look as nice. No. But he
still tried.
He can't find it in himself to not do it himself.
But that is the key ingredient, though. I don't think people understand. I asked the universe for this.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't come,
you're whatever.
I'm still putting in the work.
You're still.
I'm still going in there and figuring it out. I'm not dependent on nobody.
Yeah.
And that's how, for whatever reason, I'm telling you, the seed decking, the upholstery, the entire boat.
People want you to.
All sponsors taking a chance on me.
They want you to get to your goal, and your goal is to fish and hunt, and one of the things you
do
want
good in this world, bro. Because taking people out is
good, and you deserve it.
Mental health.
No, you deserve it.
Go fishing, bro. You want mental health?
Oh no, listen.
Forget going to therapy. Go out into the water, bro.
Listen, I'm with you 100%. Actually, the people at the point that I did a video one time. When I do a video for my channel, I look at something, I'm like, bro, I wonder how they did that. Mm-hmm. And I said to myself, I guess I'll find out. I'll give up my time to show how professionals do something.
Yeah.
In that case, it was ReelX trailers at the time, which Mo, works at Atlantic.
Amazing person. He was my first one ever. I posted a video that I had problems with something. He reached out to me.
Okay, so Mo, that now works with Atlantic, right? And I don't know the latest because but I know at some point he was there. I don't know the latest, but Mo ended up. I said, hey, listen, let's do a video, and then Eddie from Unlimited Trailer Repair, who repairs the trailers.
They're good people too, bro.
He's a good guy.
They're nice guys.
He's a good guy. Eddie's a great guy, and he'll answer the phone at any time. Guys, you want to go ahead and break down in the middle of the night? Just call Eddie. He'll show up.
If my sponsors think that I'm gonna go out and badmouth anybody, they're wrong. Because I know I have Atlantic, and I know they got my back. But just to be the air clear, that's why I love Atlantic.
Yeah.
I can come here and be authentic and tell you Eddie's a good guy, bro, and they'll understand because he is a good guy.
No. Listen, and people respect that, right? I've been dealing and talking to people with Atlantic all the time. Mm-hmm. But now if somebody gives me their money and I think that they're good people and they have a good product,
and that's the key, though.
And they're good,
has to be somebody that's from the heart you can represent.
If I didn't think Reliable was a good company to work with, I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
But they actually came out to me and they supported what I was doing. And realistically, if I'm gonna help you, I'm gonna help you win no matter what.
You can't make me look bad because you're tarnished long term. So I know.
Listen, bro. Listen, I'm gonna make it hurt. Mm-hmm. If somebody's on the other side of the same, I'm gonna make it hurt because that's my job. You entrusted me to do something. Now, what I do is that's my way of marketing to you in the future. I made it hurt so much that you're gonna want to deal with me the next time.
Yep.
And because that's just my job. So if I'm gonna do my job, I'm gonna do it to the best of my ability. So
but you can go to sleep at the end of the night that you did the best that you could do. If they're not happy,
I can't do anything about that. If you have your own issues, that's on your own issue. But I know. Listen, when I go a bed at night and somebody asks me, "Hey, should I buy this car or a boat or this and that?" I'll tell you what I know because of my experience and because of the people.
Yep.
Behind,
I think that's the key.
The people behind. Because I can tell you anything about everybody in the industry. And I'll say, this guy's like this guy's like this. Bro, listen, I know. And people just like that, people come up to me too and tell me, hey, Alfred. And as somebody who's actually led teams in the past, I can decipher who's disgruntled because of whatever reason, But going back to the trailer, I did that trailer for ReelX just to show how it was made. These guys sold a bunch of trailers based on my trailer. One day, Eddie from Unlimited now used to work at ReelX with Mo, showed up at my house with a brand new ReelX trailer. And I was like, I didn't expect it. I didn't want it. But it was a huge blessing for me.
Yeah, you're not going to say no. Uno no come mierda tampoco.
I'm not gonna say no.
Yeah. Uno no come mierda.
But you know what? To this day, I'm forever thankful for Eddie and Mo for taking that leap to show their appreciation. And I know I know, and people use me all the time. And I know when people use me all the
Yeah,
time. And listen, realistically, I'll look at you, I'll deal with you, but in my mind, I think you're a piece of shit. When you use me and I get nothing in return. So for those that are watching, now you know. If you know, you know.
There's people out there that wish the worst on me, and I'm not talking about. I've had people that have done false accusations to the federal government, ATF being one of them.
Because of what you do.
And they've reached out and they've tried to bring me harm, where they've tried tarnishing my family, tried to get me in prison, the whole night.
It's
and I swear to you, on my deceased father, I have seen them after the fact and gone through the struggle, and I still say hi to them and wish them well. I can look you dead in the eyes. I wish nobody harm. Why? Because that energy and that hatred, that's on them, bro. I live my life. I meet somebody.
It's not worth it.
It's the opposite of where Miami is normally like. I'll meet you. I'll give you 100% of my love and trust till you shit yourself. You know, you ruin it.
Yeah.
I've been in the game, in the streets long enough as a cop, Marine, as a kid, where I can pick up the vibes.
Yeah.
It's a Miami thing. I can pick it up. I know.
What vibe did you pick up from me? Because you just met me 3 days ago.
Then you and I are in the same are cut from the same thread.
I believe that.
Me and you are cut from the same thread.
I believe that.
You've been doing this longer. You've been putting in the work longer. You've been having your success. I don't envy you. I wish you nothing but the best. But sometimes people from the bottom, you got to cross here automatically. Not me, bro. Have your success, bro. Yeah. If I can ever benefit from you, I mean, you can never benefit from me, let me know. But I'm never going to approach you being like, oh, man, I want to use them for this. I have famous friends with 4.2 million followers. I don't bother them, bro.
Yeah. Look. For me personally, I don't really care per se of if you're famous, if you're not. I really don't watch a lot of social media.
Me neither.
I don't really look. I don't watch a lot of the stuff that he does because one, I just don't have the time. Right? I don't have the time.
The good thing is you can approach me authentically that way.
But bro, Pablo, I'm more old school, bro. You want to chill? Let's chill. We're here, we're talking shit, we're doing what we gotta do, and again, I get to know you, and then you know what? Not everything is with a camera, right?
Yep.
And then you get to see the real people. Like, bro, listen, people get to know my heart and my mind when I'm at the boat ramp, right? Because I'm telling you what I see, what I experience, and I'm bringing you on a journey.
And when they approach you, you give them the time of day they deserve, the respect they deserve.
Bro, think about it. My YouTube channel has changed my life, bro. These people have changed my life. How am I not going to go to see somebody? My wife was at the show, and I was running. You want to know the story? I'll tell you the story.
Your wife's a hustler, bro. Shout out to her, bro. I saw her. She was grinding it out.
Bro,
even in the rain. Yeah. You locked her out of the...
I did, because I had Lenny
Moore.
Like,
we're recording! And you left her on the rain.
I had Lenny Moore, bro, doing a podcast. And you know what she said? You know what she told everybody? Don't open the door.
I remember.
He's going to go crazy. And you know why? Because I had that level of respect for Lenny and his time.
My wife would open that door and say like, "Oye, apaga esta mierda right here, bro. It's done. Está lloviendo, no joda."
Listen, the merch was going to get wet. But you know what? For me, that level of respect for that person, just like if it were you too, that you came out of your way to go ahead and talk to me. Bro, I cannot do that to somebody. And Lenny was cool about it, right? And you know, I wanted to talk to him. And for those that don't know, Lenny Moore is the actual person who started King of Diamonds. So, and my wife was the one who held everybody down. She was like, "Hey, listen, don't open the door." And somebody actually, which is a friend of mine, opened the door. Yeah. And he came in, and I had to rush him out. And I felt bad about that, but I had to rush him out. But going back to that thing, I actually was running late, bro, because I forgot SD cards, like what we need right now. Like today, I forgot.
I'm learning
for
that,
this,
bro.
For these two things, I forgot the batteries con el apuro, so now we only have one angle, right?
And this room's not done. There's a company that Cascab, they make cabinets. They still gotta finish it. Yeah. And then outside, I have the exotic wall refinishing.
This looks badass. And
he came through. He did some exotic wall marble-looking thing, bro. I've had great sponsors. I have another one, KC Art.
There's deers everywhere, guys. There's deers everywhere.
Yeah. So people think that hunters are this like horrible, diabolic people. But at least from my experience, my realm, where I'm around, you're harvesting something that you're going to bring back home.
Yeah.
In the sense of not just the meat. Sometimes you taxidermy him to honor the deer.
You have
whatnot.
an alligator skin.
I have a gator. So there's Operation Outdoor Freedom. I get invited sometimes for being a disabled Marine Corps vet.
Yeah.
To some certain hunts.
Yeah.
And people don't know it's up to $10,000 is what it costs to go hunt a 10+ foot gator. People think, oh, you can go kill a gator in Everglades.
If you ever touch Fred the Croc or anybody you know touch Fred the Croc.
Crocodiles are actually off limits year round. They're never in the hunted. They're protected species. You cannot.
Yes.
So by being a hunter.
Yeah, American crocodiles off limits, guys. You'll go to jail
100%.
Forever.
And anything, catching a fish off the sides or whatnot, they're all felonies, people. So we don't mess with that.
It's not worth it.
When you go hunting, you learn about the animal and its habitat. And, sometimes you'll go out and you can tell the difference between the poop from a deer than from a wild boar. And you're going out there, you're learning the tracks, what do they eat? And you're actually more invested with Mother Nature than some of these people who are the tree huggers. Oh, my God, hunting is... No, I respect the animal.
Yeah.
And by learning the hunting, I teach my kids. My daughters, like... They go with me.
You're going hunting tomorrow.
I leave tomorrow early in the morning. We're going hog hunting. And I have a wine tasting now as soon as we're done. Yeah. My kids learned the responsibility that comes with hunting.
Yeah.
You kill what you're going to harvest, or if the animal is destroying your crops. The animal is a nuisance to your area, like coyotes.
Yeah.
Some people, I've posted dead coyotes, and they're like, oh... You should relocate them. Who's going to come on and relocate them?
Yeah.
And wherever you take them to, they're going to be killing all the smaller animals and affecting the small deer, the baby calves in the ranch. They'll go into the chicken coops and kill off all your chickens. So they affect people's pockets. Bobcats as well.
No, and that's your livelihood. Like you have.
Well, my friends' livelihoods that they own ranch, like wild boars, they start uprooting and destroying a lot of the grass that's needed for the cows to get fat, for them to eat off of that pasture for whatever time frame you have them. Now it's less food that the cows have, the less fat they get. So when you go to sell them, it's less money those farmers make.
Yeah, and you can harvest those boars as well.
Correct.
Okay.
So those are something they're considered nuisance all throughout Florida. I think somewhere by Canada, they're really encouraging people to hunt them. So you hunt also deer.
Yeah.
For example, people think, oh, deer season's open, just go and kill any deer you see. No.
Yeah.
There's a census that FWC or the biologists, what they do is they calculate how much deer is in that area and how many do we have to hunt to make sure that deer population doesn't affect the survivability of other animals, other species. Mm-hmm. So we keep all the species in check so that everybody can survive pushing forward.
So is your goal to do a fishing and a hunting channel on YouTube? What's your goal?
That's my paja mental, bro.
All right. Listen.
That
the Chit Show is here to help, right? Like
obviously.
So I'm gonna help him on his journey through YouTube. He obviously has his game on tight when it comes to.
I'm putting the effort, bro. Do I doubt myself every day?
Yeah.
You have no idea.
No, but listen.
I want to quit because I don't believe in myself every day.
You're good. You're good. I believe in you. So I don't know if that matters, but
I'm gonna try.
And when I wanted to help. We're gonna get to the point that this is getting towards the end. Going back, it's nice. Obviously, you have your family. You're doing that. Do you have your YouTube name yet?
I started it with some random stuff that I have from Instagram. It's real_outdoorsman TV. Okay. As soon as I get my crew together, because it is overwhelming. To be focused on the content of authenticity.
Of course.
But at the same time, in the middle of what you're trying to say, you're thinking, is the camera on? Is the squared? Is the mic working?
It's
back and forth.
It's a Chit Show. Listen, in my case, and what advice did I give you? I said, you're going to learn everything, right? My advice was,
try.
No, you're going to learn everything. Point blank, period. It's right now, look, you just learned a podcast, right?
Yeah. Shout out to Harold Valenzuela, I think it is, from Valenzuela from iHeartRadio, which was a random Instagram follower who messaged me, "Hey, my birthday party's tomorrow. You want to come over?"
He's not a random anything, bro. He
was to me.
He's next to Enrique
And I
Santos.
showed up to his
talking
birthday party.
Shit the whole time with
I
Enrique
didn't know
Santos,
that at the time.
Which is a famous worldwide DJ here in South Florida. And Harold, I've heard Harold's voice. I don't know Harold's face, but I know his voice because I've heard him on the radio. So he helped him with the podcast setup on FaceTime.
But thanks to me, I guess, not knowing who he was, we were able to build that friendship. Because I didn't care about using him, and he saw that. Like, hey, this guy's a friend. He's not trying to use me. And he helped me set this up.
Harold hit me up. I want to do a podcast at AMS Studios. Let me know if you know anything about lighting también.
He's that type of guy, bro. He would.
So
with him, I help him out. He has a non-for-profit organization. It's Fishing with America's Finest, where we take out veterans fishing, and I help out whenever I can.
Yeah. Well, what would you say somebody doesn't know about after today? Obviously, I mean, bro, you went to lunch with Michael Jordan. Michael, where you at, bro? Come on, bro. I know you got fishing. I mean, I record boats. I saw your boat. I saw your boat in the OBX. I didn't even mention it.
Yeah, but firearms, he wants nothing to do with firearms. He understands that certain people out there in the media, they respond negatively. And because of his place, I would never put him in that position.
Listen, but Catch-22, he loves to fish, bro. He goes out of, was it Jupiter? No.
Yeah, it's on Jupiter. I have a friend of mine that's a mate. He's one of the captains. Hannibal is his name. And he's actually one of the fishermen off the Catch-22.
Well, listen, you see, I like to show the best people at what they do. And I know a guy like Michael Jordan, if he wants to have a fishing team, I would love to show how that team works together, because when you see a guy, and I grew up listening and watching Michael Jordan play, and when people compare Michael Jordan to anybody, I laugh, because to me, when you witness somebody that level of excellence compared to somebody nowadays,
Kobe Bryant would be the only one that came close.
Mindset.
Mindset-wise, exactly.
Mindset.
Because there's many definitions that make a great... people think LeBron's the best basketball player of all time.
No.
That's
come on,
okay
bro.
to you.
No, to me. But you know what? I have the luxury of time. And I saw Michael Jordan play. And I saw Michael Jordan's eyes want to rip somebody's soul and dunk on him.
And do it.
Right? So when you don't see that or don't experience that, it's a different. And that's why I'm saying... When I would see, like I can see him when he's on a fishing tournament with his team, or his team is just out there, he's gonna expect the best of them.
Yeah.
And he's gonna make sure that they give him 100%.
One thing about those type of athletes, and I've tried studying that psychology, is they approach every opportunity as if they were gonna win.
Yeah.
Like, failure wasn't in their heads. If they failed, they understood that it was a lesson. But they approached it expecting to win.
Oh no, they're good.
And their motivation was 100%. Like when you see LeBron James throwing his little hissy fits, I don't like that. They never complained. If they lost, they accepted that it was on them, never the team.
Who wanted the ball all the time, right? When
if he didn't work as hard as he did, he would tell you, no, you're not getting it.
That's right. I think about it. If you're putting the work when Kobe Bryant
sacrifices.
when Kobe Bryant was working out and nobody was looking, right? Because when you see what you see on TV and what you see on YouTube and what you don't see is the struggle. You don't see that
behind the
dedication.
scenes.
When I'm at the boat ramp, when I'm at the boat ramp filming the Chit Show,
under the sun, the mosquitoes,
they don't see that. They don't see that, right? What they see is, coño, el paletazo over here. Alfred's having a good time. Look how many people go and visit.
That's a small part of...
That's a small part of the dedication.
What about the water damage to maybe some equipment?
Oh, dude, bro, listen, bro. I can't tell you how many cameras I've bloop, bloop, bloop. And how many times I've been, coño, I mean, right now I couldn't even go live the way that I wanted to go live because I literally bloop, bloop, bloop my audio system, my live system like a reporter.
Yeah.
So, but... All in all, I'm glad that the people got to meet you, got the real outdoorsman, right? This is the real outdoorsman.
But I was always jodedor. Even in the Marine Corps, in Iraq, the madness. I was always the same guy.
Yeah.
when I was younger, we would go to Cuba all the time. I tell people I was born in Miami, raised in Cuba.
Yeah.
We used to go twice a year where I would spend a month in Cuba. And it was the countryside. It was just a couple thousand people that populated the countryside. It was called La Palma Pinar del Rio. I was the type of tourist, but I would show up, I would date the cowgirls, I would go around, steal random people's, let me rephrase that, tactically acquire their horses.
You borrow stuff forever and then bring it back.
I would steal their horses that they would have tied to a fence, just go on joyrides, take out girls, and enjoy my day, and then come back and tie the horse pack.
Yeah.
But no saddle, no nothing. That was just what I would do.
Yeah.
The random waterfalls that had snakes. That's all I would do. But I was different in the sense of I involved the Cuban people. I didn't pursue that as a vacation or a tourist. No, hey, let me make friends with people. There's parts of Cuba at the time that if you're Cuban, you couldn't go to.
Yeah.
And I would be like, no, here's
That's
$20.
That's a lot of places, by the way.
So people don't understand like how corrupt Cuba is. Hey, no, they can't go. Hey, here's $20 per. Either my friends go or I'm not going.
Yeah.
And that's the type of lifestyle I lived from day one, where I was one of the people from the streets. I'm not like a gangbanger. None of that. I was raised with good parents. My father had me when he was 50, but he had a good job. He had a good head on his shoulder. He was a great father to me. But I was able to experience, like I told you, have knives pulled out on me. I've had people rob me, been jumped. I've go back to the Marines. I've been shot at. I've had mortars launched at me in the police department, the chases, the madness.
And now you're on Instagram and hopefully soon on YouTube. Guys, check out his site. Remember, you are your own currency as an individual. The more currency you have as an individual, that's what matters. When I measure people, you know how I measure people? I don't care how much money you have. Bro,
I agree.
You know how many people have money? I can be on any boat. I can be on any boat or any yacht if I really, really wanted to because of what I do, right? But to me, your currency as an individual is what's awesome, right?
Yeah.
When I see somebody that has a lot of currency as an individual that makes a phone call and somebody's on the other side and they're gonna help,
he's not willing to fail to help others.
Yeah. Listen.
When I put together the last fishing tournament that for an autism school, South Florida Autism Charter School, we didn't raise like a crazy amount of money. By the time I paid all the bills and all the people, it was only like $4,000. But I had been approached that hey, they need 10 grand to create a learning center so that your kid doesn't have to go to the school to receive their help. I was like, man, that's a goal that maybe I can try. I put together a fishing tournament, and I was like, if I fail, I failed trying. But no, I did very good, bro. Well, in the sense of the outcome and everything, it did very well.
If there's anything that Chit Show and my subscribers can help in the future,
plan on doing it again coming soon. Should be for March or June. Wait for the oceans to get a little calmer months.
Bro, 5 to 7 footers all day, every day.
In the winter, you have a lot worse days than.
Yeah. Well, listen, guys, this man is a family man. His family's there, and he's got to go to a wine tasting now and then come back. Alfred Montaner making a scene, the real outdoorsman. Now you know the real outdoorsman, and you're going to follow him. How do they follow you on Instagram?
On Instagram, it's real_outdoorsman. And the last thing I want to mention is Marine Corps birthday is around the corner. Hoorah! Everybody party safely.
Yes.
And the very next day is Veterans Day.
Yeah.
Everybody, I don't care what branch you are, happy Veterans Day to everybody.
Yes, guys. And as we always do, we end on the flag. I'm out of here.
Yes, sir.
Wait for it podcast with the real outdoorsman over here on YouTube, guys. Hey, you're gonna want to watch this. This is the real outdoorsman video, though. Like, guys,
I portray who I am authentically, but if you want to know who my number ones truly are, mira.
wait
That's
for
why
it.
I do what I do.